Good morning. Today is day 8 of the Joy program. So today you should be writing down another 10 items that you're thankful to God for, and that should make a total of 80. We have 2 more days left of this Joy program. Saturday will be the last day of this particular 10 days. I hope you continue going. If you'd like to, drop a note about what you have realized so far that you're most thankful for. Or one of the things you thought was interesting, or something you realized you were thankful for that you hadn't specifically told God you were thankful for recently. I'd love to hear about that. This morning, I just want to ask you a question. I want to ask you who your favorite Bible character is. My older brother, sent me a message the other day, and he was reading through the Bible that morning, and he's like, I remembered a conversation we had a couple years ago about, I had asked him who his favorite Bible character was, and he had said Job, and actually one of my daughters, that's their favorite Bible character as well. And because he was reading in Job that morning, it reminded him of that conversation, and he sent me a really sweet message, and I appreciated that. But there are a million, I always say the word million, it's not really a million. There are a lot of big characters in the Bible. There's Moses, and there's Abraham, and there's Noah, and there's Joseph, and Paul, and Peter, and of course Jesus. But there are large characters in the Bible. But when you really get a chance to read it, and you start identifying with some of these people that actually lived a real life that was as hard or harder than ours, or had challenges, or they overcame things, you start to identify with them. And one of the characters I like so much is Rahab, and she's an odd choice, maybe, but let me tell you why I like her so much. So here was this woman who, first of all, knew nothing of God. She lived in a town where no one knew who God was. But not only that, she was likely an outcast from her own townspeople because of her chosen profession. So she lived in the wall and was a woman of the night, I guess you would call it, or someone did at some point. And when the 2 Israelite spies came, they went into her house to hide, and she hid them. And when they were leaving, they asked her what she wanted in return for doing that. And she said, just save my family. When your God comes to destroy Jericho, I want you to make sure that my family gets saved. And they told her exactly what to do. Hang this rope out the window. And if you want someone to be saved, they better be in your house. And that's what I love so much about Rahab. She didn't go to her family and say, let's have a family dinner on Friday night. Let's just see what happens. She didn't do anything like that. She said, she went and talked to them. She told those spies, she's like, I've heard of your God, and I've heard of what he's done for you, and I know that he's able to do amazing things. And she went and she witnessed to her family, and her entire family came to her house, and her entire family was saved. And there's something amazing about that. You hear a story like Job, where he had a lot of family members stuck in Sodom and Gomorrah, and only his 2 daughters got out, and even that went sideways after that. Noah only was able to take the 8 members of his family, and not able to talk to anyone else. And it's not that they were failures, that's not it. But it's amazing that Rahab, who knew nothing about God and had just heard of what he did for his people, was able to witness to her family in such a way that they came to her house and they were all saved, and then she became part of the lineage of Christ. And there's something amazing about that. I love that story of Rahab. So I want you to think today about who your favorite Bible character is. Maybe pick up the Bible. There's no more exciting book than this. Every Bible looks different. I happen to have this kind of Bible. But the words in it are basically the same. The stories are the same. There's every kind of story you can find in the Bible. And there's someone you can identify with. Sometimes I feel like a Paul, and sometimes I feel like a Peter, and sometimes I feel like a Ruth, and sometimes I feel like a Job. And the reality is that the Bible shows us that when we come to God over and over and over again, He works mightily on our behalf. And that's true whether you lived in these Bible times or whether you're living in the times we're living in today. God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. He is the same forever. We change. We're flimsy people. But He is the same. His love is the same. His help is the same. His strength is the same. Forgiveness and salvation are the same. So I ask you who your favorite Bible character is. I hope you share that with me. And I hope today you realize that in all of our stories, God is the main character. And He knows the ending. And we can trust Him with that. Have a very great day.